Hey, Dave Whitney here. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, slap playing on the guitar is becoming far more popular. It's you know, guys like Andy McKee, Justin King, really shit hot slapping work and so forth. And it sounds great, and everybody loves to hear a little bit of percussion mixed in with their playing. So let's have a look at some basics of percussion. Okay, obviously we're muting and slapping on the guitar. Okay, so let's look at some basic things you'll need to know. First of all, you'll need to know how to coordinate between your left and your right hand. I think we all understand that as a basic prerequisite. So you're going to treat it like a drummer. Like, how would a drummer learn? What would a drummer learn if he was learning the basics? Okay, because you'll be doing the drums. Remember, that's what you're doing. You're throwing in the drums. You're not just playing the chords. You're going to throw in the drums. Make it a little more interesting, right? And that's all very well and good, but if you don't know shit about drums, well, you're going to be struggling uphill with this one. So what would a drummer learn? A drummer would first of all learn to use his two hands. Yeah, just like a drum roll, okay? But he would learn to coordinate at different speeds between the left and the right. Okay, now this is where a metronome comes in very handy. If you've got a metronome, you can use it to keep you honest. Because I know we all like to think we're doing it right, but the trouble is when you put a metronome on, you realise just how shit you are. And that's why I don't use a metronome in these videos, okay? So, but I would wholeheartedly recommend it for building your rhythmic, you know, tools. So left and right, just alternating. Okay, then we can do doubles. Right, left, left. Now I'm using one very simple slap here with my right hand. I'm just slapping onto the fretboard here. But you can use your thumb, you can use your hand down here. Yeah. Sounds a bit like a drummer's, you know, a drum roll. If you know, did it and did it and did it and did it. If you've ever, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so you've got your doubles. Yeah, you've got your triplets. Triplets, 3 notes, accent the first note. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now in this one I'm being pretty, I'm using my 3 fingers up here and keeping my first finger down. But you'll also have to practice these with your first finger, right, as the finger that's doing the slapping. Why? Because sometimes, you know, sometimes the chord that's being played might be being played with your little finger, and you know, and you might have to use something else, your first finger, whatever. But the point is, you never really know because it depends on what you're playing, right? So the triplet, the triplet. 4-note ruff. 4 notes that are actually in a triplet timing. Okay, so it's as if, imagine there were 6 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you left out 5 and 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, okay? The 5 and 6, they're gone. But the timing is still the same as the triplets. Now with a 4-note ruff, your leading hand changes each time you do the sequence of 4 notes. So the first time I do it, I do right, left, right. Sorry, right, left, 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 right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. So okay, 4-note ruff. Paradiddle is the next one. Left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. That's a short paradiddle. A medium paradiddle just has right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, so a short paradiddle. middle paradiddle. And a long paradiddle. All that I'm doing is going with the long one, with the middle one it's, with the short one it's. You can mix those up any way you like. Okay, so with those basic tools, you can start playing around on your guitar. There are lots of different sounds you can make, and there are lots of ways you can play. Like with your hand, right? You can use your thumb to tap up here. You can use your fingers to tap down here. You can use your thumb and say your first finger. To do like strumming, percussive strumming here while you're muting with your left hand. You can slap your palm down on the fretboard. You can use the heel of your palm here, the heel. Yeah. So. If you're going to be doing tapping, you know, you could use that. Whatever. And there's lots of ways you can mix it up, okay? So you start with, let's say, just going back between our two hands, just doing right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And you might think of it as a drummer working on his hi-hats and his snare drum. And use the body of your guitar Of course, a drummer would use both his left and right hands. You know, he could cross them over, but you're not going to have that luxury the majority of the time. At least not if you're holding down chords up here. So this is why it's important to learn to do doubles with the same hand, because if you want to mix it up with your snare drum down here, you have to do that. Okay, so yeah. So here I'm just going to play around with some sounds, right? Keeping it very, very simple. Now, just playing around with it. The idea is just to play with it. That's all it is. Put some song on the radio, turn the radio on. Start to get like a rhythm guy. Okay, and play around with it. Going between the different times, you know, between the start to be a drummer. Okay, start to be a bongo player is probably more precise, but anyway. And then then you're going to have to integrate your playing, you know, and we'll move on to that in the next video. Okay, so you work on that sort of stuff, and I'll get back to you. See you soon.